India and Israel signed a bilateral investment agreement in New Delhi on Monday. The signing of the agreement reflects their shared commitment towards enhancing economic cooperation and creating a more robust and resilient investment environment. The agreement is expected to pave the way for increased bilateral investments between the two countries, which presently stands at a total of $800 million, thereby benefiting businesses and economies in both countries. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said that both sides should have more business interactions in order to explore investment opportunities and benefit from the agreement. DD India's Mohammad Absarul Hassan has more.
India and Israel signed a bilateral investment agreement in New Delhi on Monday. Union Minister for Finance and Corporate Affairs Nirmala Sitharaman and Finance Minister of Israel Bezalel Smotrich signed the agreement. The treaty will deepen economic relations and boost mutual investments between the two countries. This is for the first time an Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development country has adopted India's new investment treaty model. This agreement ensures investment protection, transparency, non-discrimination, and fair compensation. An independent arbitration mechanism has been established for resolving investment disputes. The treaty will boost investor confidence and accelerate capital investment in both countries. Defense and security cooperation are cornerstone of India-Israel relationship. Defense is a significant but often separately reported component of the trade, with Israel being a major supplier of military equipment to India. Israeli defense companies are increasingly looking to collaborate under the Make in India initiative through joint ventures, technology partnerships, and acquisitions. There's a bilateral innovation agreement between India's DRDO and Israel's DDR&D to foster innovation and R&D in startups and MSMEs. Collaboration extends to the aerospace sector, including joint R&D and technology. Recent years have seen an increase in trade in high-tech products, including electronic machinery, communication systems, and medical equipment. Israeli companies have a strong presence in India, primarily in the high-tech domain, with investments in manufacturing plants, R&D centers, subsidiaries, and technology partnerships. Agriculture and water have long been fundamental to the bilateral relationship between the two countries. Israel is a global leader in agricultural and water technologies, and its expertise in areas like drip irrigation, protected cultivation, and water management is highly valued by India. India is a focus country for Israel's trade efforts. Both nations are actively negotiating a free trade agreement and have recently signed a bilateral investment treaty to boost investment flows. Both countries have shown interest in cooperation in the energy sector, including agreements on oil and gas. Israeli companies are showing a growing preference for investing in India's renewable energy sector. The I2U2 partnership also has a focus on sustainable development and renewable energy projects. Mohammad Absarul Hassan for DD India.
And joining us for more is Ambassador S.R. Tayal. He is a former Indian ambassador to South Korea and Uzbekistan. Ambassador, welcome to DD India News Hour. Now, first up, how and why did this India-Israel agreement come about?
It is very important that India has signed this bilateral investment treaty with the OECD member country. See, after our economy liberalized in 1990, 91, 92, we welcomed foreign investment and mostly it came from rich countries. That means the OECD countries, the Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development countries. And we had a template called for bilateral investment protection agreements, BIPA they used to be called. And we had these BIPA agreements with most of the rich countries and OECD countries. But over the last 2 decades, the experience has been that when international contracts are signed, and then if there is a dispute, then the mechanism to sort out those disputes were all based in the West, and they were very arbitrary and failed to understand India's positions. And we had 30 odd cases of arbitration, for instance, in mostly Western courts or arbitration mechanism, and they were going mainly against India because the whole contracts were very one-sided under the old BIPA, Bilateral Investment Protection Agreement. So the current agreement, government, a few years back, we walked out of all of those bilateral investment protection agreements because they were very one-sided, and they were not taking at all into account the concerns and the genuine issues of Indian companies, and sometimes even Indian government when they have, suppose we have a new regulatory rule, new regulatory law passed by our parliament, but that also was not honored under these bilateral investment protection agreements.
Hmm.
Now that it has been said in this press release that this BIPA, which has been, or bilateral investment treaty now it is called with Israel, OECD member, it will have a fair treatment. It will have non-discrimination, because earlier our experience was that BPAs were very much slanted or were favoring the investor.
Right.
And we as a investment receiving country had really not much say in any dispute resolution mechanism. And the third very important point is that independent arbitration for dispute resolution. So it will not be an arbitration mechanism just which is based in London and they have their own intricacies and their own case laws and their own, and it's very, very expensive. So it's a very good step forward.
Okay.
And it will have perhaps a impact when we negotiate bilateral investment protection agreements with other countries, let's say of Europe. Now, European Union already we are moving towards an FTA. There is a fast track which is going on, and it's also to be seen in the context of the uncertainty which has been introduced in our trade and investment because of the arbitrary and unreasonable tariffs
Indeed.
which are imposed by President Trump. So very clearly we are looking for new markets and new partners, economic partners. European Union, we are having very accelerated talks. Israel, I think, is the first off the block, and it will become a very good pointer for our negotiations
Indeed.
with other European countries and other OECD member countries for investment and trade.
Right. Ambassador, if we zoom out and look at the region as a whole, what can you tell us about trade ties between India and Israel? And how does it compare with the trade that India carries on with other countries?
See, with Israel and in the region, India has very ambitious projects. We have India Middle East corridor, which is a transport corridor from Bombay to Dubai, and then further on land and Haifa, Israel port, and then it goes to Portugal and Greece ports. So that is a very ambitious project, a very futuristic project, and that is one. Then I2U2 was mentioned by your correspondent, and it is again a future-oriented project. I2 is India and Israel, and U2 are United States and UAE. So again, focus will be more on technology and transport, investments, because Israel brings a lot of technology to the table, investments also, of course, but Israeli companies are at the cutting edge of technology, whether it is artificial intelligence, whether it is drones, on cyber, their IT industry is very, very well advanced. So that is what they bring. India brings its own skills and our people and our huge market. And UAE has a lot of sovereign funds. It's a very open society. It is Dubai, Abu Dhabi, they welcome foreign investment, foreign workers, foreign skilled people, and of course United States has its own huge market as well as an interest in the region. So going forward, India and Israel are partners in two major projects which can be very important for India's own economic development, engagement with the entire West Asian region, as well as a transport link to Europe. And so it is very good development what we have seen today by way of a bilateral investment treaty, and there is trade also. There is a talk that India Israel may be moving towards a free trade bilateral agreement also.
Right. Ambassador Tayal, now India and Israel have strong military ties. India is the world's largest importer of Israeli weapons, and India is also emerging as a major co-producer of Israeli weapons. How would this agreement benefit the India-Israel defense relationship in particular?
India-Israel defense relationship has grown by leaps and bounds after 1998-99. All the censors came on our India-Pakistan border, Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Then there are Barak missiles, and there are all kinds of systems which we are getting from Israel. More than $9 billion worth of military equipment has been purchased from Israel in the last 20 years. But now the Israeli companies are ready to participate in India's Make in India program, in Atmanirbhar Bharat program, because India is changing course. India is shifting gears. Earlier we used to buy defense equipment, but now our quest is that come invest in India, transfer technology, and we let us develop new systems together, let us manufacture together, meet India's huge demand, and also export to other countries. And Israel is ready to contribute and participate fully in this new template of defense production in India, which is really the road for the future. So Israel is a very reliable partner. They are a strategic partner of India. We all remember after the tragic terrorist attack at Pahalgam, Israel was one of the first to fully, openly, and loudly condemn that terrorist attack. And after that, on Operation Sindoor also, Israelis have spoken very clearly that India has full right to attack and destroy all the places where terrorism is supported, is trained, and is financed, and is led. So there are many, and again I would say that I've been to Israel a couple of times. It is very clear to see the affection and love people of Israel have for India, and India also there is a very positive sentiment for the state of Israel and the people of Israel. There are about 70,000, 85,000 Indian Jews who have come to Israel, and they all remember, and the entire Israel recalls that when Jews were being persecuted in Europe and United States and Russia, everywhere, they had an absolutely safe life and sanctuary in India for 2,000 years. They
Right.
came to Cochin in about 2,000 years back. So there is a lot of very good emotional connection and friendly sentiment between the people of India and the government of India and people of Israel and the government of Israel. And on that, this future relationship is being built, which has a very bright future.
And on that note, Ambassador Tayal, thank you for joining us and sharing your thoughts and perspectives with our viewers in India, Israel, and around the world. Thank you for your time. Much appreciated.
Thank you.